Let's create one final spread for the month of January in one of my creative journals. Hey guys, I'm Tracy and I want to welcome you back to my channel. I want to thank you all so much for tuning in today. And yes, we are going to be back in my B5 creative journal. This is my journal where I do a theme for the month, some type of topic that I want to explore for the entire month. And then I just kind of do some creative spreads or maybe just some fancy list or what have you related to that theme. It will make more sense as the year goes on, I promise. For the month of January, my theme was fresh start, new me type thing like that. I had a stamp that said fresh start, so that's why that became the actual title of the theme. I have done pretty much, I think everything in here was set up on camera. So if you want to see the setup process, the thought process, and all that fun stuff, definitely check out those videos. I'll just link them down in the descriptions to make it easier to find. I may just create a playlist with all of these in that one particular playlist. So this is my journal cover page, Life Captured Creatively, because it's sort of like, because of the themes and stuff that I'm doing, in a way, it does serve as a memory keeper. So here's my January cover page. I kept it kind of simple because nothing else is simple behind it. So it's my word of the year and then kind of my backup word of the year that I feel like they kind of go hand in hand. So I'm like, let's just both put them on here. So I did a little journaling about that, like what they mean, why I chose it. Then I did a letter to myself, a vision board, because, you know, they're always fun. A 20 and 26, sort of like a bucket list type of things. I still need to add a few more here. This is as far as I got. This sticker might have to get glued down. And then there we go. That's all I have. The idea is not to like create a set amount of spreads. It's basically just to have fun. The exception will be probably coming up in a month or two when I do want to do something relating to the letters of the alphabet. So then there'll be a set number of spreads. But for the most part, there are not a set number of spreads. But I wanted to do one more because you saw the spreads that I've already created. And I don't have one where I'm looking at what I want to get rid of or what I want to throw away, you know, like things that maybe I don't want to bring with me into the new year. I'm not talking about tangible items, which it can be tangible items, but I'm thinking about things on my mind, you know, stuff like that. Like, do I want to get rid of worrying about what other people think and stuff like that? That's the type of stuff I am thinking about. So when I was thinking about when I was thinking about creating this spread, I was thinking about trashing it, throwing it in the trash. So that is where these like images of the raccoons hovering over trash cans kind of came from. I was actually inspired by a sticker sheet from Archer and Olive, which I do have a few of the images off to the side. However, they're like a lot of scenery type images and not just something basic like this. So I kind of went with these instead. I got these two from Creative Fabrica and then everything else is from Canva, even the paw prints. So Canva Pro. So yeah, this is going to be the decorative elements. And then I have some kind of crumpled up pieces of paper that I also got from Canva. Basically, I just got enough to fill the paper. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to probably create my own crumpled up pieces of paper to paste on it because I want it to look like trash. That's what I want it to look like. So that's kind of the thought process for how I'm going to do things. But this looks very, very bare and I want to get creative. I want to get colorful. I want to get fun. So, and with that, I bring some neutral washi. I don't know if it's going to be a lot of colors in here, but I basically want decor a lot of places. So this is what I'm leaning toward. I think this one came, was this my Cocoa Daisy mystery box? I think that I ordered for Black Friday. I think this was what came in that. They don't have anything labeled on here, but I think this would look really, really cool because it's kind of got that bluish gray. It's definitely gray, but it has that blue hue to it, which I think, I'm just trying to unravel it, which I think goes well Oh, it looks more bluish gray when it's on the roll, but once you pull it off, it's gray. But I'm still going to use it. I don't have anything that is bluer gray than this. I think I'm going to use it. But then I also have this abstract kind of stuff. That could be cool just because of the whole trash thing. I don't know why. This just kind of called to me. I could actually use them both. And then I just have text. And it has like burnt edges. This came from Korea Crafts. So I'm like, we could always use that too, because that's like burning something, like letting it go. So that is also a contender, and we'll just have to see, right? Because right now I have no idea what I'm doing. So, and the other thing that I have is this paper pad from Archer and Olive. This is thinner paper. It's not thin paper by any means, but it's definitely not 160 GSM. So this would be something good to add without adding too much bulk, because I have the gray and burgundy and black paper pad that I got a few years ago from the Halloween box, and that's like thicker paper. So I was thinking about this too, because this is where I was looking at the blues and like the teal colors and stuff like that. I think both of those could work pretty well, leaning more toward the blues. So that is what I'm thinking. But again, I have no idea what I'm going to do, because I think all of these will look really cool. Like I really like the burning. Look at this. Oh my gosh, I really like that. I think that looks kind of cool when it says like what I'm leaving behind. But I just don't know if it's gonna look okay with everything else. Like I just don't know if this is too kind of like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking about here. I don't know. I just feel like it might be two different styles, maybe. Okay, this guy would need to be over here. All right, let's see something. I'm not saying this is how it's going to be. I'm just trying to like, I'm thinking this is going to be, yeah, I don't think that. I think this will be really cool because of the burning paper. I just don't feel like, I feel like it's too sophisticated looking. Maybe that's what I'm trying to say, for my like raccoons and trash cans and balled up paper. So yeah, this is, I don't think gonna work. Now I kind of have to, now I have stickers on the edge of my desk, and that's so dangerous because it's going to end up on my shirt sleeve, and then I'm gonna be looking around for them forever, because I'm like, where did they go? And they're on my shirt sleeve. Does that happen to anybody else? All right, so a couple of things. I don't know that I love this, but I think I was thinking about taping this onto this, which I could tape it onto this side, and then putting this up here. So I would have to cut around it, which is an extra step, but I feel like I just need more color, and I don't think just putting this on the page is gonna give me that. And even like with washi, yeah, I like this. I'm gonna do this. Even though I'm taking the time to put these words onto this blue paper, you will see that I will cut a very thin border around the words, because I just wanted a little pop of the blue color. I didn't want it to be a very big border. That's why I will kind of kiss cut almost around the letters and not just have a block border. And then I kept it pretty thin as well. I wanted the blue to act more as a supplement rather than like the star. I still want the black and the white of the letters to kind of be the predominant colors, with the blue to be a supplement. And that is primarily because this blue I had intended on putting this throughout the spread. Like this blue was going to be a predominant color throughout the rest of the spread. So I just wanted it to be subtle in the title. So obviously you could see previously that this is a very, very long title. Looking back, I wish I would have thought a little bit more about the title, and I probably could have came up with something a little bit more clever and probably shorter, but that's okay. We have a title. It is clear. I will always know what this spread is. If I had a catchy title, who knows, I might forget 10 years what this spread is. Like I was thinking about using the word like trashing, like, you know, what I'm trashing in 2026 or something. That would have shortened it just a tad, but you know, it is what it is. It works fine. But because this title is a lot longer, I did have to break it into 2 lines, which is perfectly fine. So now you see me using this blue paper again, and I will be using it in both the top and the bottom corners. I like to put them in opposite corners. By the way, I did mention that this paper came from Archer and Olive. It was part of the Advent calendar. So this particular paper pad is not sold individually. Don't know if it'll ever pop up again. I think most of their paper pads is a thicker paper, like the 160 GSM. And like I said, this is a little bit thinner, which is my preference. But let's get back to this. So when I do the corners with the scrapbook paper, I usually like to have them kind of symmetrical or like about the same size. Not really symmetrical, but about the same size. In this case, I could not do that because that top corner needed to be fairly small just because, again, I had a really long title and I didn't really want the title to overlap with the scrapbook paper. So I made the top corner small. And looking back, I probably should have made the bottom corner not necessarily smaller, but instead of it extending horizontally, I think I should have taken it up and had it go up vertically. So even if it was larger, I think it would have mirrored the top corner better. It's just funny what you think of when you watch these videos when you're editing it and doing the voiceover versus when you were actually in the process. So that's kind of like looking back, I could have done that, but that's okay. I will tell you, I do like it in the end. And then I did use the black and white washi. I felt like between that one and the gray gingham patterned one, I feel like the black and white was better with complementing the blue paper, whereas the gray one kind of disappeared. Like the blue just overpowered it. So they didn't really supplement each other as well. So that's the reason why I went with that. And I did do a jagged edge on the washi as well. I just felt like with it like a straight edge, it just looked a little stark, especially with the ripped papers in the corners. So you did see me crinkle up the paper. Yes, I did. I crinkled up the paper. I wasn't sure how the blue paper was going to crinkle just because it was a little bit thicker, but it did fine. And then I have these Amazon, well, they're not, I don't think they're Amazon brands. I got them from Amazon, but the circle punch, I think they're 3-inch circle punch. I got it in like a set of like 6. I got it like a couple of years ago. If I can find it, I'll try, but it's probably one of those things that is like, the original seller is no longer selling it anymore on Amazon. But yeah, I decided to use that for a lot of the shapes that I cut out. And then the other one, I just did a rough rip of a square to make the final shape of this paper. And I did find some really thin, kind of creamish yellow scrapbook paper. That was, like I said, that's a thin one that I used to supplement the blue as well as the stickers that I already had. So I personally like the crinkled look. I'm thinking it looks crinkled looking back at it. Who knows? Maybe if you didn't know I did that, you wouldn't notice. But like I said, I just wanted it to look like it was something that you would throw away in the trash. So that's the reason why I wanted to crinkle it up. Just trying something new, you know. I can't do but so much with this 2-page spread as far as like creativity goes. So that was my creativity for the day. So yeah, I did spend a little bit more time on the placement of everything just because I didn't want everything clustered all together and I didn't want everything evenly spaced. I kind of wanted them all over the page, but I didn't want like colors together either. So it became kind of like a puzzle. And then I also wanted to sprinkle some of the remaining raccoons throughout the spread as well. So the 2 raccoons that I end up putting on the right hand side of the page and with the circles, those are the ones I got from Archer and Olive as a printable sticker set. The other little smaller raccoon that's on the circle on the left-hand page, that one came from Canva. The other 2 came from Creative Fabrica, just in case you were curious. But yeah, I did add them. I like the way they look. I wish I had more. Maybe, you know, I guess there could never be enough raccoons. Maybe I needed a few more to make the spread really decorative because there's a lot of white space here, y'all. There really is. But with that said, I did not want to add any more shapes. I think I already added too many because I'm like, wow, y'all, I have to add, I don't know, is that like 11 or 12? Somewhere around there. I have to add that many things that I want to like release this year. And I don't know if it's that. I don't know if I have that many. I haven't brainstormed it yet. So there could be that many, but I'm not sure. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to sit down, brainstorm. I'm going to write down as many as I really want to release. And then if there's any extras, maybe I can add a raccoon, or maybe I can add something a little silly to make it a little fun to look back at, where I'll be reading it and I'm like, oh yeah, that's kind of hilarious. So we'll see. But yeah, I'm just kind of going to go around now and do some final touches. You will see me adding like a dash border around some of the circles. I do not do a very good job. They are not all symmetrical. They make the circles look wonky, but because it's a dash, it looks a lot better than a solid line would. So we'll just go with that. And I think once I write in it, it'll be fine. Which by the way, I think once I actually write in these circles, I think it's gonna give the appearance or the illusion of less white space in the spread overall. Or that's what I'm hoping anyway. All right, guys. So I'm just going to add a few more touches, which is pretty much just some random pieces of washi. And then that's going to be it for this spread. All right, guys. There we go. So I really like how this washi goes with everything. I like the busyness of it. I think it fits perfect because in all honesty, this wasn't a super busy spread. So I could use the busy washi here, but it was all on this left page. So that is the reason why I added the little tape strips here, or give it the tape strip look. And I like I like it. I think it's cute. I'm really glad that I remembered that this was a page I wanted to include in here as far as what I want to get rid of in 2026, because everything here is kind of like looking ahead. And I think this is something to kind of keep in mind as well. So like I said, most of this stuff is going to be like, want to get rid of pessimism, want to get rid of like negative inner self dialogues, or whatever we want to say. It's going to be stuff like that. And yeah, I think this will be really cool to look back at the end of the year. I think it's fun to look back at because now it's a really cute decorated spread with the trash pandas, because I'm throwing everything in the trash is kind of where it's going. So there we go. Yeah, fun with paper and stuff like that, and didn't really do anything too crazy as far as like, you know, Dutch doors or anything of that nature, but I think it looks still really unique, and that's what I like. So there we go, guys. Thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to watch this video. If you enjoyed it, smash that like button. And if you have yet to subscribe, I hope you would also consider subscribing to my channel. Definitely be on the lookout for my February spreads in this journal. I'm going to be writing or creating spreads about the things that I love. I think that's the route that I'm going to go in the month of February. It should be pretty fun. I don't know how many spreads I'm going to do. I might do a different theme a week. So like one week it might be the media that I love. So like favorite movies, favorite music, stuff like that. One week it might be dealing with like eating. So favorite foods, favorite restaurants, stuff like that. So we'll see. But that's where I'm leaning toward. So definitely be on the lookout for those videos in February. All right, guys. Again, thank you so much for joining me today. And I hope you have a good rest of your day, evening, or night. Until next time. Bye.